Welcome to Coffee with Viking. I am the Viking. Cheers. Oh, that's good, especially after yesterday. Funny thing about yesterday, woke up with a lot of text messages and they were filled with a lot of anger and another person quitting after like a week and a half, and it's been a busy few days. That's why it's been hard for me to find time to post things, especially the daily devotions, which I'm still keeping up on. Thank God for that. But if you noticed, I've been doing those at odd hours of the night because my mornings have been pretty busy lately too. But without going into too much detail, we had a new supervisor come in that was shadowing us for about a week, and he seemed like a nice, pretty cool guy that would definitely get things done. And oh yeah, it all wound up not being what it looked like. And that's the thing with life. Nothing is ever what it seems. Because after his week of shadowing, after his training, he started doing shifts on his own, and I found out yesterday that he was blaming everyone, even those he was talking to like they were best friends, including me, talking down to us, about us to others. And as much as I've been fighting the anger on a lot of this, I've been praying for the guy, because he let anger consume him, and it actually made me feel sorry for the guy too, because before I came to Christ, that was me. I let it control me as well. And the thing is, when you let anger control you, it angers everybody else. It makes you an unlikable person, and nobody wants to be around you. And the thing is, when God made us, He made us as sociable creatures. He knew it was not good for us to be alone. And that doesn't necessarily mean, in a romantic way always. I mean, with Adam, he knew it wasn't good for man to be alone, so he made Eve his wife. But if you jump into the New Testament, you got Saul, who was later named Paul, who never married, but was always around other people. So, yeah, it's not good for man to be alone, but that doesn't necessarily mean in a romantic relationship either. But back to what I was getting at. Later on in the day, after I got called in, well, actually, after I called in to see if they needed anyone, because I thought about the overnight person, because they sent a text out too in the group that was asking if they were ever going to be relieved because they had to go get to their child. So after I stepped out, I had my first and only cup of coffee that day, which shockingly, I usually have my 3 cups and then I'm good to go for the day. And yesterday was a little weird because I got 1 cup and maybe a drink or 2 out of the second. But I chose that because I called the other supervisor who actually relieved the woman so she could go do what she needed to do, and I volunteered to come in early, and I'm doing that again today. So in 2 days, I'm going to be doing 22 hours, so pray for me on that, because that's a lot of hours. But the supervisor did say I'd get my Monday to rest, so pray that happens. But with this guy, the story don't end with the text. While I'm about 2 hours after I'm at the house, I see this familiar vehicle drive by, and then I see this black book get thrown out of a window into the yard. Wound up being personal files that I went out and picked up, and I called and reported it to the supervisor and double and triple checked, make sure I didn't miss any papers, set it where the other supervisor could see it. And I thought the story would end there because the rest of the day was peaceful. But about, I want to say around midnight, maybe a few minutes after, I get a text accusing me of something I didn't do. And I know the guy knows I didn't do it. And this I can share because I had an extra phone charger, the one that came with my phone. And I figured I don't need two at my place, so I left it at the house in this cabinet for everyone to use. Well, it disappeared, and I didn't get mad about it. I figured maybe one of the guys opened the drawer, found it, and it could be in their room, which I didn't find it there, but I just let it go. But he sent me a text late last night or early in the morning accusing me of believing he was going to steal it and taking it, which he was there when I couldn't find it. All that was there was the charger block. The cord was gone. So if you're seeing this and you know who I'm talking about, you know I didn't put any distrust in you. I actually spoke highly of you until yesterday. But this is a guy who let anger control him, and he attacked everybody but himself. And this is what happens when you let anger control you. Pride takes over. You won't admit your own shortcomings, your own faults. And hate takes over. You start hating everybody, even those that showed you that they cared and wanted the best for you. But the guy's forgiven in my book because, and if you are watching this, I forgive you for everything. But and the Bible does tell us if we don't forgive others, then how can we expect God to forgive us? So I try to forgive everyone. So you are forgiven. And if you want to keep blaming me for distrust, even though I talked up to you, feel free, but I'm still going to pray that you open up and let God come into your life, that you accept Christ. But when you let anger take over, you push people away. Nobody wants to be around you. And that is not how we were created. We were actually created to be sociable, This is why I get lonely very quickly and easily when I'm alone in this little apartment. This is why when I get company, it's like a celebration in my heart and soul. Because I like my time alone, but I hate when I'm alone all the time. But the meaning behind all of this is don't let anger control you. Don't let it consume you. And I'm not saying anger's a sin, because Jesus, who was sinless, got angry, but he did not sin, and that is scripture. But he never let it consume him. Now we, as sinful creatures that were born in inherent sin, are known for letting our emotions take over, and anger is one of them. And anger, well, it can actually be good to release it, can also be bad if we let it control us. A lot of times I will hold my anger in while I'm around others or on the clock, and then I will release it through prayer or when I'm alone, or I'll call my mom and let her know what happened, and she'll let me vent, and then she'll actually help counsel me through it. Much love, Mama Viking, for always helping me through when I call you. But I try not to let it consume me like I used to, and I urge everyone not to let anger control them. Because when you do, you push everyone away. And then you may wind up as an old person alone in a hospital bed or in your own bed, about to pass, with no one by your side but the doctors, because you pushed everyone that cared, all your loved ones, everyone away. So please don't let anger control you. It is not good. I love you all. Stay blessed. Stay caffeinated. And let Christ lead you and not your emotions. And again, I want to say I'm sorry for not being able to post as much recently, but it's been a lot of drama going on that we've all had to work through, and I have volunteered my time to help out at work, and let's just say I'm making up for the hours I lost right now, so I can't really complain on that. But I love you all. Stay blessed, stay caffeinated, stay with Christ. And again, don't let your anger consume and control you. Hope you have a wonderful and blessed Sunday.